All right, and we are
I'm probably
live.
here for about an hour or until my wife quits bringing me beer,
Yeah, well,
Whichever happens first.
whichever happens first.
Okay,
well,
Cliff, you
unfortunately,
were
I have it here in the house, so I'm stuck with that.
Cliff. What was your rate and service again?
Okay, it was very eclectic. I'll run through it real fast. I started out, I was in AT, got picked up for Seaman to Admiral, became a SWO, and quickly found out that sucked. And then I switched to Expeditionary Field and then switched to Spec Ops and retired.
Okay.
Mike,
And Jay Brown,
Jindal,
Jay Brown, you were an Nav ET on a boomer, or
Yeah,
am I
I'm a
thinking
boomer.
of someone else?
Your
Your rate was
president,
Nav,
Navy
Nav,
team boomer.
Nav ET on a boomer. Didn't we have a nuke? Who's our nuke? We're missing a nuke.
We're missing a
submarine
few.
nuke.
I
Eric,
actually don't know. I actually don't know. I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad they didn't decide to put me through as a nuke. That would have really been bad, especially for all the shit that went down. Oh, dear.
I've got a brother that's a nuke, but we don't want to talk to him.
I had a
nukes are
boss.
weird.
Okay, Jay Brown, you're gonna like this. One of my ops bosses when I was in Japan used to say, "Better a sister in a whorehouse than a brother on a boomer."
Oh, nice.
I heard,
Not like
I heard that.
one.
I heard that same argument while I was on the Lincoln. Uh,
Okay, someone blow up a calculator. What's $23 plus 15%?
oh dear.
So $2.30 plus $1.15 is $3.45.
No, $23 plus 15% of that.
Oh, plus 15%.
$26.45.
Well done.
26.45 is your total.
Is that coming from a nuke? I don't trust nuke math.
No, he didn't say anything about Dungeons
No,
and
that-
Dragons, so it wasn't a nuke.
No, that come from a radar tech.
Oh, close enough.
Now I'm even more suspicious. No, that's how much I owe the pizza delivery guy. Nuke math or radar math? Which one are you going to trust?
So if you're doing a
I trust
15% tip, you take 10% of the total. So you move the decimal place one over, and then you take half of that, and you add those together, and that's your tip.
Is that you're including subcritical reactivity?
It's factored in. I thought about it.
Okay. Delivery time takes 45 minutes though, so what's the total exponential growth of that?
Due to inflation.
Not my pizza guy.
God damn it, what are you showing now, Brown?
I sent a message to Steve McRae. He says he's doing his show at the moment.
Yeah, they have their typical Friday night show. And unfortunately, because of time zones being a fucking thing, it's like, well, I can't really go earlier because people on the West Coast aren't really going to wouldn't have as much flexibility to join. So,
Yeah.
is what it is at this point.
Maybe I would really like to possibly shift this to some other day, or hang out some other day, just so we can get Steve on.
Well,
I want to ask him a bunch of, at least for 1 week. I want to pick his brain about nuclear engineering.
we'll have to see what day the Non Sequitur show is not doing a stream, which unfortunately right now they're booked pretty much every day into July.
Yeah. I watched that show.
Why is his laundry room door open?
you watching
because
something?
because it can be.
Yeah, that last one I just shared on the Discord server, Jared, is one that some of my nuke radio or not nuke, some of my sub radio men would understand because they ran the electronic surveillance measures (ESM)
Mhm.
station when we were at PD, and a radar detector from a fuzz buster and all that. Yeah, just makes it a little more fun that way. Although this looks like it's from England, so.
Yeah, they're illegal over here now.
They're illegal in most states here too.
If you cross the border into Canada with one, you're screwed.
What's that?
The police radar detectors.
You can own it, but you can't use it.
So what the fuck is the point of that? Well, you can have it, but don't you dare use it. It's like, well, what the fuck is the point of owning it then?
By the time they
They're
actually
they're
activate,
illegal to sell, but if you've got one, they can't actually prosecute you for owning it, but they can prosecute you for using it.
All right,
Just
And of
Drive
course, they
up.
can't take it off you because that is depriving you of your property.
Just drive the freaking speed limit.
my favorite is people
But-
seem to think that they actually work in preventing you from getting caught. And I'm like, by the time it actually activates, they've already got you.
yeah.
Well, we do have a lot of fixers over here, which
So I'm
they
I'm
might just
actually
help with, but,
screen sharing it for the viewing public right now.
Can't see it. I'm on my iPhone.
I know, I just did it for the viewing public, like I said. Actually, yeah, you're not on the Discord chat, which kind of sucks that there you're only limited to a group limit of 10 people.
Oh, that's stupid.
Otherwise, I'd have everyone that uses Discord to get the link for this in one group chat. That would be nice, but I guess, you know what? I'm just gonna have to break down and start up my own fucking server. Yay.
I'm back,
Yeah,
folks.
let's go.
Sorry, I had to go unwrap some liquid bread.
Nice. Ooh.
When
Oh yeah, and Skeptic is busy right now. He's in the group, but he's just kind of passively listening. So we can rag on him all we want. And
Nice. Hey, did you understand that that thing that I sent you with the animation of the globe, and then it zooms in and flattens it out? Jared?
I think I'm gonna have to go back and take a look at. Oh, that dot? Yeah.
Yeah.
It really shows how some people just don't fucking understand scale.
Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is have the guy that made it for me. I think I'm gonna have him slow it down so it zooms in slower, but it zooms in 1 million times, so you're really seeing just a tiny segment of that circle, and it looks totally flat.
Well, and that's where my suggestion would be start out with it zoomed in, and start with the question: what shape are we looking at? Just take a guess. What shape are we looking at?
Yeah, is this flat? Question mark.
And then slowly step it out and be like, "Are you sure? Are you sure?"
Oh, well, these graphic artists that we got, they're magicians.
Don't say that around Jared. He'll take it serious. Don't say that near. Don't say it near any platard. Now that I think about it, because they will take it seriously and they will assume that the conspiracy is very, very real, and we're in on it. If we're in on it, though, I want my fucking checks. People owe me for
And I
47
could
years.
use a shield checker too.
Well, guess what? If it is a conspiracy, then most of us have to be in on it. by necessity. We spent so much time on the ocean, we have to be in on it.
Yeah. It's like, when you're planning a transoceanic voyage, I know skimmers usually make their own tracks. Submarines don't, but you're required to stay so far or so close to your PIM, position of intended movement. And, you look at the flat Earth model versus the spherical model, and the distance is just so much greater on the flat Earth model. That
Well,
Oh,
that
yeah.
depends.
if you went across the ocean at some set speed, you would arrive days late to your destination.
Oh yeah.
Correct.
Oh yeah. Every time they bring up the whole Southern Ocean thing, I can't help but laugh because every cruise that I went on, with the exception of the workups on the Stennis, I went south of the equator.
Well, yeah, you were a West Coast guy, right?
Out of Japan for most of it.
Yes, that's where y'all lived. I am a shellback, though. East Coast guy, shellback.
That is an oddity.
It's just a product of non-deployments.
Yeah, that'll work. But here's the hilarious thing. So my dad was an East Coast sub guy his entire career. Retired after 23 years. I'm a shellback, he's not.
Oh,
Wow.
Oh, rub
he
that in
blue
his
nose?
face.
bragging rights.
Yeah, absolutely. Bill, the bullshit you have to go through for that shit nowadays? That's definite black right.
Oh, there ain't shit. You gotta do
Sorry,
shit
guys,
nowadays.
but I have to ask, what's a shellback?
A sailor that has crossed the equator.
Were you ever a golden shellback?
No. Unfortunately, each time we crossed was too far west.
Yeah, that's rare. Be a golden shellback.
I know it is.
You gotta go like between Hawaii and Australia to become a golden shellback.
Yes.
Yeah, one of the guys
got
that came
any-
over from the.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say one of the guys that came over from the Hawkbill after it had been decommed. They went from Hawaii to Australia, and the water space management people at the was it Subgroup 1 out there, purposely gave them like all the water around the equator and international dateline, and the navigator was just a dick and totally circumvented the crossing there. The captain came up and saw where the track was going, and was like, no, made his own corrections to it and said, I'm signing off on this. The ANAV signed off on it, the XF signed off on it, and they put it on the plot, and the nav came up, why are we off course? And then he looks at the chart, and then puts his pen mark into it. It was pretty funny. This is a great story for them to tell.
Any blue noses? I'm a blue nose. Any other blue noses?
I will show my ignorance. I don't even know what that is.
Polarized
Crossing the
cap.
Arctic Circle.
Oh, no. That surface ships, we tend to crash when we get too close to there.
Yeah, no kidding.
I was gonna say, if I remember right, Techatron, Eric, a guy who was in last week, is a blue nose.
Yeah.
But again, sub guy.
Now, I have blown my nose in the past. Does that count?
No. I went to quartermaster sea school right after sub school with the guy who got his dolphins pinned on at the North Pole.
Nice.
Damn.
So the center of the Earth is what you're saying. That's where he got it.
Yep, right smack dab in the center of the flat Earth.
Right in the middle. Stationary.
Even had the barber pole in the background. It was like him and 5 other guys. Obviously they delayed their pinning on ceremony so they could do it at the North Pole.
I know, I would have loved to have done that.
I want to know where all the military guys are in this chat room that were protecting the South Pole.
Oh, the penguins?
Nah, we left that shit to the Penguins. That was their job.
The Holy Order of the Penguin.
I started to do the math one time on how many people would have to protect it, and I just got bogged down in numbers and gave up.
Yeah, I used Google Earth one time to and used the flat Earth map for Antarctica. The actual circumference of Antarctica is like what 11,000 miles, point to point, tangent to tangent. And but if you do by the flat Earth, it's 60,000 miles.
Correct. And if you figure one ship per
10 miles, 10
10 or
miles,
15 nautical miles,
yeah.
that's the military budget of every planet on the Earth.
6,000 ships.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not the number. It's actually closer to 2,000. And it's still a huge issue.
Yeah, that crap about Captain Cook took 70,000 miles to circumnavigate Antarctica. No, that was the fucking total travel distance of his entire voyage.
Well, let's not focus on details.
If you go up to the North Pole, you can walk in a 5-foot circle and circumnavigate the Earth.
Correct.
So,
Like
Schubert,
that orphan. What do you call a Navy sailor who's never been to sea?
A liar.
Gibi?
A member of the Air Force.
Nice.
Yeah, airport.
Did you hear that, Father Skeptic?
He may not be back yet.
Yeah, he won't be back for a while. He said that he was going to have customers and everything till at least 9:30, but that he was going to be listening in.
Yeah, he's still there. He's just muted. I just wanted to make sure you heard that. I'm just joking, Father Skeptic.
No, you're not. Stop
At
lying.
least we know he's still a wog.
So, Jared, thanks for that little talk we had about the quantum entanglement the other day.
Oh yeah, I mean, that's one of those things that is really easy to misunderstand. And in my opinion, well, like I said, so for people who don't know, it's a question of, does quantum entanglement break the speed of light? Like, how does it actually work and everything? And the prevailing explanation right now is that since you can look at the two quantum particles that are entangled as being in different frames of in different inertial frames of reference, you can almost ignore the speed of light on that,
Right.
because you can ignore causality because of that change in the frame of reference. Whereas I'm inclined to go a step further and actually borrow from Star Trek, in that interaction is actually taking place outside of normal space-time. So that normal constraint is gone, so while it appears to break causality, it's not.
Right. Just like if we talk about the expansion of the universe, there are planets that are separating from each other faster than the speed of light, but that's not because they're moving, it's because space is expanding, and
Yeah.
space is massless.
Yep.
You're actually talking about stars, whole solar systems, galaxies, even
Yep.
Correct.
all moving away from faster than the speed of light. You said planets, so I wanted to make sure that was clarified for the viewing audience. They appear to be moving away from as fast as the speed of light, so they're going poof. They're just disappearing one day. And that is we because space can accelerate, or the acceleration of the expansion of space-time is not bounded. by the speed of light.
Correct. And I have even heard.
I haven't. I
They
haven't.
actually have their own slower light. They actually have their own slower light motions as well. So, I'm good.
So
I haven't kept up with cosmology for a while. What's the highest Z shift ever observed now? Last time I remember it was like 13.
That's beyond my scope. Someone else, please.
Oh, yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, but with
You
the
know
James, if I remember
No,
right,
let me go digging here for a minute, because I actually ran across the answer to that 4 or 5 days ago.
well, and I saw a diagram recently. I think it was you, Cliff, that shared it in Discord at some point, or someone else did, when the distance that we could see came up. And with James Webb, we're supposed to be getting close to a redshift number of 20, an index of 20, when James Webb goes live.
Yeah, if it gets there.
So there was a really cool thing. I got an email a while back where you could sign up and have your name. They'll digitally put it in a chip on the James Webb when it goes, and so your name will essentially live into eternity.
So the aliens, when they capture the James Webb, they'll be able to find out where you live.
But I'll be long dead. Either way, I got guns. Come on.
Okay, you guys. Yeah, it's gonna be effective against aliens. You guys listen to that ancient astronaut, ancient aliens shit the other day. With,
The History Channel BS.
well, no, it was the they had crap. It's on Steve. It was either Steve McRae or the Non Sequitur show about Kyle. It's falling pretty hard for that alien ancient shit.
Oh, I saw that, but I didn't even click on it because
Ahead of time, but yeah.
Alright, there we go. Now let's see how this goes. Alright, all that info's there. It should say we are live. It's saying it on this end. Damn technology sometimes. And think, I took steps to try to make it better this week, and I just made it fucking worse.
thanks, Jim.
Yeah, well, that happens.
Fellow AT.
Yeah. Trying to fix what ain't broke.
God, don't do that.
I mostly just enjoyed that my shop was cold when we were in the Gulf.
Oh yeah, that definitely comes in handy. Especially because we pulled into fucking when we pulled into Patia. Walking outside of the shop at the time while we were underway, I wore my glasses more than contacts. Well, because why the fuck am I going to put my contacts in if I'm not going outside and need the sunglasses?
Indeed.
So we're starting to pull in. I decided, hey, I'm going to step outside for a minute. 2 seconds after getting into the hangar, my glasses were so fucking fogged up. I was like, son of a bitch!
How far can you see without them?
2.5 inches in front of my nose?
Oh, damn.
Yes.
I would walk out of my shop with my jacket on, and people would look at me like I was insane.
Wait. Which foul weather? Which coat? The utility jacket or foul weather?
That's hilarious that you say that because I go back to dungaree days.
Oh dear.
So the thinner foul weather coat. Which there was a guy in my shop who had that old school that version, and a bunch of them had the new puffy ones. And I was like, why? Well, when I went down to get mine, I was like, okay, how many of the old ones do you have left? What do you mean the old ones? The thinner ones. I actually work for a living. Kinda.
Kinda.
Well, I was a supervisor, so I wasn't really doing as much gear work, but I was going around all over the place.
Yeah, luckily I made rate pretty quick. I was a 3-year E5.
Same here.
Yeah. Which it follows. To,
3 year
that's
what?
where you are now.
We both made E5 in 3 years.
Yeah, first time up each time.
You were push buttons.
No,
No,
we
no,
actually
no.
competed.
Nope. I went E1, E2,
Yeah.
E3, E4, E5.
Yeah, same here.
I just made it the first time each time.
Yeah, same here. I got an 80 on my first class exam.
Ooh.
Oh wow! There you go. No, my first
No.
class exam, I took me 3 times, because it was mathematically impossible for me to make it the first 2.
Had to rely on them P&A points.
It helps, yes.
Yeah,
P&A for those. P&A for those not familiar with Navy advancement stands for passed but not advanced. You take the exam, certain score, you get so many points that go to your next exam.
Well, let me tell this quick story. The time that I actually made it, I was not on the promoted P&A or failed list, as if I didn't even take the exam. So they found out that they conflated me with someone whose social security number is 1 digit off mine.
Oh wow.
Oh.
Yes. Once they fixed that, they figured out I made it, and they gave some hospital corpsman my score and told her that she did make it, and then told her, no, you didn't, because you didn't score that score.
Oh.
Yeah.
Uh,
So she was frocked and then unfrocked.
That
Oh.
sucks.
Ouch. Ouch.
And not for disciplinary reasons either.
Correct.
damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
this was in the
Damn.
days before your. This was in the days before your fancy computers.
yes. So so they came to me and said, guess what? You made it. We're gonna have a frocking ceremony just for you, after everybody else had already been frocked.
I love fracking. You don't get paid, but you wear the rank.
Yep,
Hey,
you get all the rights and privileges.
it works
No other
for me.
service does that. Yeah, right.
And the officer
You know,
community doesn't do that, which is, I don't know.
Yeah, no. No one cares about them.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah.
I hate them all.
Yeah. Talking, keep it.
I can't think of a good officer. Can y'all?
What's
What?
your definition of good?
To
Me.
crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of their women.
Ooh, ooh.
Nice.
Yes.
And
You know who
here I
ori- you know-
remote
you know who
people
originally
stayed
said
alive.
Well, of course, it was Arnold.
No, it's actually Genghis Khan.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Genghis Khan stole it from Arnold.
Yeah, well, Genghis
No, it's
maybe.
like-
Wormholes.
You watch Conan the Barbarian. Oliver Stone wrote the screenplay, and but for some bizarre reason, he used like the first half of Genghis Khan's life story.
Yeah, I was gonna
for
say, didn't he?
Conan the Barbarian.
Didn't he basically base it off of Genghis?
Yeah, pretty much. When I was on the Seawolf deal, we got a new guy, and I taught him to say his name was Melody. His last name was Melody. And I would say to him, Melody, I taught him to respond, Melody, what is best in life? To crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the women.
What else are junior enlisted people useful for except for that?
Well, I also taught him to say, Melody, what does it do? The lotion on its skin or exposed.
Put the lotion in the basket.
Did I break up?
Not so much that we didn't understand it.
Melody, what does it do? It does as it's told, or it gets the hose. You know, Silence of the Lambs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here's a great story. I was the maritime advisor at JSOC, and that's led by a 2-star. I apologize, a 3-star, and he used the term "put the lotion in the basket." He said,
Nice.
as a goal, this is how we get the lotion in the basket. When he was talking about a goal.
Okay.
He is now the CENTCOM commander. Look it up. Love that dude.
All right, so
Buffalo Bill.
all right, so before we went live initially, I mentioned the game Quiplash. I think with these fucking jokes, this is going to be too perfect for it. I think we need to play.
What is this game? I missed that part.
Okay, so it's have you heard of Cards Against Humanity?
Yes.
It's essentially that, except all wild cards. So you get a prompt, you can write whatever response you want. The catch is it's done in 3 rounds. One prompt is given to any 2 people that are actively playing. And then the other players and anyone out there watching can join the audience, and they all vote on which response is better. And then the third round, we all get the same response and go against each other in a free-for-all for which one was the best. The catch with that one is, in the third round, we get multiple votes for responses. The audience only gets 1.
I think I am disadvantaged by my BAC right now.
Or at an advantage.
Ooh, that's a good thought.
But so for those able, here momentarily, I will start the game. To play it, you don't need to buy anything. You just need to have a browser available. Or if you want to get the mobile app, if you're going to use your phone, you can do that. For those playing on the computer, it's going to be on Jackbox, JACKBOX.TV. In the meantime, wait. Alright, I got 2 instances of the same window open, so I just closed one. Alright, I am going to launch the game and get in. The audience will see it before you guys. Well, actually, no. Haha, fuckers can wait. Alright, I'm good there. Oh, and by the way, family-friendly filter is off.
Oh, shit.
Alright. in the internal chat is going to be a link and a room code. That is the information you need to join the game. Now let me get over. Once we get a couple more people into the game, I will switch it so the audience can see and start joining in as well. Check the chat. Alright, is anyone not going to be playing? So right now I got myself, Jay, and Alan.
I'm up.
Actually, I just asked one of the guys in the chat if he's out there. Actually, let me go over here. Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to save that picture and throw it into the slideshow later. I just took a look at it.
Yeah, do you like my comment on that too?
Yeah, and oh, the number of times that it happens, you just kind of want to punch the person when it does.
My favorite is when they reach into the rack unaware.
Yeah, just gotta be careful when you reach. Nope, that's not what I want to send there.
So real quick, Jared, here's how old I am. When I went to A school, it was in Millington.
Okay, that's not terrible, because it had only been a few years that it had moved from Millington to Pensacola when I went there.
Yeah, I went in 95, 96.
Yeah, I was in Pensacola in end of 02 through most of 03.
Yeah, and then they got wrecked by a bunch of storms, which was funny to me.
Okay. Alright, so the other guy is not going to be able to make it for about an hour, so
Yeah, I'm gonna be gone.
yeah. Oh. Time to play.
Theme song? Check. Schmitty? Check. Players? My, what an attractive group. Oh, sorry, I was talking to my framed photo of the cast of Frasier.
Alright.
So, Father Skeptic.
This is
if you're
round one.
listening,
Two prompts will appear on your
thank you
device,
for
which you can
bringing
answer
me
in
into
any
this
clever or not
initially.
clever way you want. Everyone will choose between your answer and someone else's and decide who wins. You score based on the percentage of players who like your answer. Plus, there are winners bonuses at stake.
Yeah.
Go!
Alright.
thoughts running through my head on this one. 'Cause my mother-in-law used to work for a doctor at the general practice. It's just like all the horror stories I've heard, and it's just like, which one would be funniest?
Where am I supposed to be looking for this?
What do you mean?
Was there something typed into something somewhere?
So, where you logged in, you should have a prompt and then a white box below where you can type in.
Oh, let me click over here. I see the chat.
Now, wherever you went to jackbox.tv, that window should have updated to give you a prompt with a white bar below it to fill in an answer.
Okay. Hold on. Let me
Let's
click
start this show.
Chat.
First up, a message found in a bottle
And
floating in the sea.
out of time.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll just listen.
Oh, neither one of you gave an answer. So the first one was a message found in a bottle floating at sea. At sea. My
I didn't
answer.
have that one at all.
My answer. Send a beer and nudes. Well, once
Indeed.
Next up, the
worst advice a doctor could give. I wouldn't stand next to pregnant women. so yeah, Jay. It took that answer. And,
Yeah, that's the one I got.
Yeah.
And then the next one I had was something about getting out of jury duty,
Next
and I
one.
was typing it.
what to
Oh,
say to get out of jury
yeah.
duty.
You kind of got to think quick. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, my answer to that one was the Earth is flat.
Which it is, obviously. Deal with it.
A show of mental retardation.
That's the end of round one. Let's take a look at the scores.
Well, my dad was on jury, and he answered something.
On to round two, where all points are doubled. Doubled, I
The
say.
lawyer asked him the question, and he asked the lawyer, "What do you look for in a juror?" "Oh, you want him as dumb as possible."
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah, call me stupid because I got selected for a jury once.
Well, there was obviously a lot of smart people there.
No, it had to do about sleep apnea. And I told him I had a sister with sleep apnea.
I have sleep apnea, so there you go. Hey, 50% disability off the top.
Yeah.
Yep, I get a check.
Alright, Cliff, in the internal chat, if you go to a browser and go to jackbox.tv, then put the room code in under it, that's where,
I see it, Jackbox TV.
yeah, and then the room code is below it, VWPE. Unfortunately, that is going to change, so it can actually get you into the next game, but with only a few of us playing, it'll be fairly quick, because...
Send it again, because I can't click on this one.
Yeah, I'll pull that up and actually I'll do it over in Discord.
I gotta switch over to a browser.
Okay, here we
Do
go.
that.
Starting things
Well,
off.
I'm sending it as a
What
link
John
over
Goodman's
there.
belches smell like. Okay, voting time. Pick your favorite.
What John Goodman's belches smell like? Uncle Buck's famous pancakes or beer and pretzels?
That's no brainer.
It should be John Goodman all day. That dude's awesome. Alright, there
Next
we
in
go.
line,
Jackbox TV.
a good thing to give trick-or-treaters on Halloween when you run out of
Jackbox
candy.
sounds like something that I would really be into.
Oh wow, a good thing to give trick-or-treaters on Halloween when you run out of candy? Condoms. Nice.
Agreed.
Okay, next one. A terrible sportscaster catchphrase for when somebody dunks a basketball.
Yeah, I'm not seeing any of the
Vote on
answers.
your-
Else.
Well, when it's your own, when one of yours is the option that comes up, you don't get to vote.
Right. Okay.
But when the two people vote, oh, we split that one. Oh, no votes. That's why. All right.
We've reached the end of round
Yeah, I'm not
two.
even
Let's see
seeing a
what
spot for me
happened.
to vote on any of these.
Okay. We will get it figured out here momentarily.
No worries.
Because right now we're about to do the third round, which will take a little bit, but then after that we can
Welcome
get
to the last
everyone
lash, the
in
final
good.
round. Stakes are tripled. There's just one prompt, and you're all getting it.
Yep. One prompt for everyone, and let's see what we got.
Your prompt is the best news you could
we
get today.
Two chicks at the same time.
I remember hearing something about it.
Yeah, basically it was a miracle they survived.
With only one.
Woman that came up on the news, and I tried to change the channel. My wife was, "Go back. What was that?"
Oh my god, is somebody actually. What the?
What?
I'm moving
Oh,
on. I'm
wait,
gonna go-
whoa, no. Maximize that. Let me see this shit. Blown off rather than impacted on head-on collision.
Oh, I.
Is
Should've
there
moved
some
quicker.
no visible trailing dent characteristic of high-speed collision? Oh, what the fuck?
You could. I mean, you wouldn't expect a dent. You would expect a buckling like this bump right
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, you're not gonna fucking. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Find them and kill them.
I think I found the website right down here at the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've seen enough. Skip it.
Yeah.
Sons of fucking disgusting
Idiots.
pieces of shit.
That looks better.
Yeah.
Ooh, purdy.
Oh, what are they?
Wonder what the
are they-
bill was for that.
Would
It was a flank.
Would they rename it the Sanfro Lulu or something like that?
I have no clue.
They're taking the bow of the Honolulu and attaching it to the stern of the San Francisco or something like that. That was the plan anyway. And they're calling it the Hano Frisco or something like that.
That
Not really.
doesn't
They're just
surprise.
Well, I wonder how far back they would have to go in order to do that. You'd be damn near the sail from looking at the original damage.
well, they're just going to take the forward compartment of the Honolulu and attach it to the engine room of the San Francisco.
No, go to one to the left, that one there. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you see, you would think just after that ridge, like the next bulkhead there.
But when I heard about this, I was like, "Oh my god, I feel so bad for them." But it's the fact that, but you know,
Yeah.
it's just, it's one of those things. It's like, I just, you know, feel bad that it, you know, it's passed off as negligence, you know, on the ET side of things.
Yeah, you could argue that it was negligence, but you could also argue it's like, okay, they didn't go 4 layers of depth down into checking all their resources.
So I'm late
You
to
know,
the
it's like-
conversation. Who's trying to blame what on electronics technicians?
NIST, specifically electronics technicians.
Okay.
This is the USS San Francisco. It ran aground out of an underwater sea mountain in 2005, January 2005. This is here. Let me show you that better. This is the sonar dome after that collision.
Damn.
Yeah. Now,
They hit uncharted seamount speed
yeah. And at that point,
at ludicrous speed.
yeah, pretty much. Several of the sailors pulled a Lord helmet in that one. So, And yeah, making light of a very bad situation. I know it can be distasteful, but at the same time, it's the official story is that they didn't check all the available charts that they had. Again, making it seem like negligence on the NavVT side
Well,
of things.
they
But-
checked the best scale charts available.
Exactly,
But
which is what we're trying to
unfortunately-
do.
Yeah, but the hazard, there was a charted hazard, but it was on a chart that no one in their right mind would bother checking, because you think, okay, if it's on a chart that covers a large area, it'll be on a chart that covers a small area, and a small area chart would have more detail. But in this case, it was the opposite.
Yeah. From what I heard is that the chart that they were using, the small area chart, had actually had an update. They just hadn't gotten it yet either, which even adds more to the fact that it was on the Navy side of things too, which really sucks. But
Well, it was the NGA's fault, really.
yeah,
I mean, you're going to use the resource the NGA gives you. And
yep. But yeah, like, here, did you see the picture that kind of got me and Schubert in a rile up here? Skeptic.
I'm sorry, no. What'd you say?
This picture right here. Take a
some
look at.
some fucking assholes making a conspiracy theory out of it.
Yeah. No visible trailing dent characteristics of a high-speed collision on the port side of the hull. What the heck is that?
Yeah, like,
Yeah, so I'm just like,
They fucking,
okay.
I don't know
Yeah.
if this is classified or not, but I'm going to say it anyway. They hit, and within 4 seconds came to a dead stop and pivoted 60 degrees to starboard
Oh,
yeah,
within 4 seconds. So
And-
yeah, I mean, like
The-
they were doing a flank bell, which means they were doing about 40 statute miles per hour.
yeah. And if it weren't for the fact that the diving officer, the watch, understood what had happened and actually ordered an emergency blow at that point,
immediately.
I mean, he didn't even wait for the officer of the deck to tell him to do anything. He just did it.
Yeah.
And it took them a while to even feel the effects of going up. So
Yeah. There's how long did it take? They surface transited all the way back to Guam, and they had the low pressure blower running the entire time.
yeah,
There's a picture of them arriving pierside, and you can see them still doing a low pressure blow.
that's not the right one. There it is.
Well, you're not sharing now.
Oh yeah, I realized I did that. Let me do that again. Here we go. Window. Share. There we go.
Yeah, tie up makes the pierside, still doing a low pressure blow.
Yeah, they had to keep doing it until
Yeah, there's a good diagram of it.
no, this is that guy. I think this is that guy's argument for what should have happened.
Yeah, that's not
Oh,
an
did-
accurate diagram
no.
of what happened.
No.
Just bullshit.
Yeah. Let's try and see if there's. Oh god.
Oh,
Oh god.
Here's the medevac that they were trying to get for the guy that ended up. This is the point when he actually died. Is they had to actually rotate him so he was vertical, and they were
Yeah.
send him out head first. That's what
Yeah.
did him in, unfortunately.
Well, yeah, it's hard to tell that, but
That's what they're saying.
they
He was
tried to
a
get him
bad
out.
case.
They tried to get him out. They couldn't. They brought him back down below decks, and then he died.
Yeah, it was. They think it was because of the inverting him up, trying to get him out of there was what caused it.
Yeah, they should have just lowered Doctors down instead of trying to get him out.
Yeah, but
Fucking poor Corman must have been busy as fuck.
I would imagine being that corpsman and having to live with that for the rest of your life. Because I mean, there was nothing he could do.
Yeah. Well, that's how you live with it, knowing there's nothing you could do.
Well, yeah. I mean, how often do you actually? So on the typical sub crew, what is the medical staff like? I know it's really small.
It's generally a foreman. On the rare
Yeah.
occasion, they'll send an actual medical doctor out there, but not too often.
Yeah, you'll have naval doctors by submarine medicine, and they're usually do a patrol on a boomer
Hmm.
and get qualified on it stuff. Like that one of the astronauts who died on the Columbia, she was qualified submarine medicine, I believe. Laurel or Yanni. What's her last name? Her first name is either Laurel or Yanni.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head either. But do you remember the Hartford?
Yeah, surface transit from the Gulf all the way back to Groton.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the
Oh.
Oh, Jared, this is the first picture I had of it.
Wow.
They had
It had a side swipe.
yeah, no, when she pulled into Groton, she had some big angle irons, some big I-beams welded up to her side, holding it upright.
Right there.
Yeah. Right there.
Yeah, that looks like something they would have done in Rhoda or Naples.
Yeah, that's
No,
what
they
they did.
Bahrain.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
see
okay,
those
yeah,
masts
shortly
that are up?
after it happened, yeah.
See all those masts and antennas that are up? Yeah,
Because they had to be?
They never tried to lower or raise them. 'Cause
I can't
for obvious
imagine why.
reasons. For obvious reasons. You know, when something like that happens or a submarine runs aground, there's always a set number of people who get fired.
Yep.
The CO, XO, navigator,
OD.
And- OOD, and the ANAV.
And occasionally the QMOW, depending on the situation.
Yeah, but ANAV always gets fired. The only enlisted guy who always gets fired. That was my job.